My name is Heather Simmons. I am 32. I used to believe that family always comes first. That belief shattered the night I found myself sleeping in my car outside my own house. 10 months ago, my parents and younger brother Kyle hit hard times. My dad had a health scare. Kyle lost his tech job. My parents were about to lose their home. During Sunday dinner, they broke the news. Without thinking, I said, "You can stay with me until you get back on your feet." Everyone was grateful. Mom cried. Kyle looked relieved. My 3-bedroom house became their new home, temporarily. At first, it was okay. Mom cooked, Dad helped with repairs, Kyle mowed the lawn, we shared groceries. But then things changed. Dishes piled up. Kyle's stuff took over the living room. My home office became his gaming setup. The grocery bill doubled. Organic everything. Premium snacks, fancy coffee. My house no longer felt like mine. Any luck with apartments yet? I'd ask. Always the same answers. The market's terrible. We're still looking. It's not safe for older folks. Kyle, I've got interviews lined up. One day I came home early and walked into a gut punch. My office, gone. Kyle had moved in his monitors, controller, full desk setup. When I confronted him, he shrugged, "You're always at the office anyway." I tried a chore chart. It vanished. Tried holding a house meeting. Mom shut it down with, "We're family, not roommates." That hit hard. I paid every bill but had no voice in my own house. 4 months in, I was exhausted. My boss pulled me aside. "You were on track for promotion. What's going on?" I knew what was going on. Stress, distraction, burnout. Kyle started using my credit card without asking. "I'll pay you back," he said. "You can afford it." Then Rachel, his girlfriend, started staying over. My bathroom, my shower, my things. No one asked. The final straw? I came home from work to find my mom hosting a surprise dinner for extended family, using my saved up ingredients and my special wine. No heads up, no invitation, just expectation. That night, I cried in my car, not from sadness, from realization. I wasn't living in my home anymore. I was surviving in someone else's. A friend, Jessica, convinced me to see a therapist. Dr. Pamela asked me, "When was the last time you felt safe in your own home?" I had no answer. She said, "Being kind doesn't mean sacrificing your peace. You need boundaries." So I made a decision. That weekend, I sat down with Mom. "I love you," I said, "but I need my home back." We agreed this was temporary, and it's been nearly 6 months. It's time to start planning your move. She looked hurt. "Are you kicking us out?" "No," I said, "but my job, my health, my mental peace, they're all on the line." Kyle, furious, but I held the line. I gave them 60 days, helped them look, offered to cover moving costs. The next few weeks were tense. Kyle stopped speaking to me. Mom went silent. But one night, Dad quietly said, "You're doing the right thing. We'll figure it out." By the end of the 2nd month, they moved out. That night I cried again, but this time from relief. Now I sip coffee in my sunroom. My house is quiet. Mine again. My job's thriving. I even got the promotion. Here's what I've learned. Setting boundaries isn't cruel. It's necessary, even with family. If you've ever had to choose peace over people pleasing, hit that subscribe button. You're not alone. 3 weeks after they moved out, the silence in my house was golden. I finally felt at peace. I lit my favorite candle, played jazz on low volume, and just sat. No noise, no drama, no guilt. Until the phone rang. It was my mom. She didn't say hi, just started crying. "You've changed, Heather. You're not the same daughter who took us in. Now you're cold, selfish." I froze. Selfish. She said Kyle was still jobless. They were in a cramped rental. Rachel had broken up with him. My dad's health was getting worse. "We never expected you to throw us out like that." I felt the guilt crawl back in, the kind that makes you doubt your own sanity. But I remembered Dr. Pamela's words. Guilt is not always a sign you did something wrong. Sometimes it means you're doing what's right for you. So I replied gently but firmly, "I didn't throw you out, Mom. I set a boundary. I love you, but I was drowning, and I couldn't save anyone while I was sinking." She went quiet, then hung up. I sat there, phone in hand, heart heavy but calm. I didn't cry this time. I breathed because I knew. I didn't stop being a daughter. I just started being one to myself too. 2 months after my parents and Kyle moved out, I was finally beginning to breathe again. My mornings were peaceful. My work life was back on track. I had even started going to the gym again. I felt like myself. Then one evening my phone rang. It was Kyle. I stared at the screen for a while. We hadn't spoken since the move. When I picked up, his voice was quieter than usual. "Hey, I know things ended weird, but I really need a place to crash, just for a few days." My stomach tightened. Old Heather would have said yes without blinking, but this time I paused. I remembered the chaos, the way I felt invisible in my own home, the tears in my car. I asked calmly, "Why not stay with a friend or get a motel?" He sighed. "I had a fight with Rachel. She kicked me out. I just need time to figure things out." I breathed in, then out. "Kyle," I said, "I care about you, but I can't go back to how things were. I've worked hard to reclaim my space, my peace. I'll help you find a short-term place
place, even pay for a few nights, but you can't stay here." He was silent for a moment, then said, "Wow, cold." "No," I replied, "it's healthy." He hung up. I felt guilty for about 10 minutes, but then I looked around my quiet living room, saw my cup of tea still warm, and remembered what it felt like to lose this calm. I called a local motel and paid for 2 nights in his name, sent him the info by text. He never replied, but that night I slept like a baby. Boundaries don't mean you don't love them. They mean you finally love yourself too. It had been 4 months since I set that final boundary with Kyle. My home was quiet, my routine was stable, and for the first time in years, I was at peace, but something still felt missing. I had mastered saying no. Now I had to figure out what I actually wanted to say yes to. So I made a list, not a to-do list, but a to-feel list. What did I want to feel more of in my life? I reached out to old college friends and started hosting small cozy brunches at my place. Just 3 or 4 people, good food, no expectations. My house felt alive again, but this time on my terms. Freedom looked like solo drives to the mountains with no GPS, just music and coffee. I'd stop whenever I saw something pretty, a waterfall, a sunset, even a roadside diner. I was learning to enjoy my own company, and purpose, that showed up in a place I didn't expect. One Sunday afternoon at the pottery studio, a woman named Diane, maybe in her late 40s, started crying over her broken vase. "I just feel like I'm messing everything up," she said. I sat with her, listened, shared a little of my own story. Not everything, but enough. She wiped her tears and smiled. "That actually helps a lot. Thank you." That's when it hit me. Maybe healing isn't just about protecting your peace. Maybe it's also about helping others find theirs. So I signed up to volunteer at a local women's center, teaching job skills, helping women get back on their feet. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't post it online. It was just for me. Now every time I walk into my home, I feel it. Warmth, stillness, strength. Not because I kept people out, but because I finally let myself in.